Hi, I'm Mickey Merritt, and this is Courtney Blevins, and we're professional foresters, and today we're going to demonstrate how to measure a tree for the Big Tree Registry. And that's basically a registry of the largest trees of each species in Texas. Our American Forest has the National Big Tree Registry. In Big Tree measurements, there were really three measurements that we take. We take circumference at a height of about 4.5 feet above grade. Now there are exceptions to this that are covered in the guidelines, and you can find those guidelines on American Forest's website. But we take circumference at 4.5 feet, we take the height of the tree, and then we take the average crown spread of the tree. And that's basically, we find the widest point of the crown spread, and we measure that, and then we go at a 90-degree angle to that crown spread, and we take the next widest. And we add those two numbers together, and then we divide by 2, and that gives us the average crown spread. So when we're measuring trees, we come up with an index or total points of how large the tree is. So we'll take circumference in inches plus height in feet, and then 1/4 of that average crown spread, and that will give us the total index for that tree. We use a couple of tools, pretty simple tools. Measuring tape, that will give us the circumference. Like I said, we get the girth of the tree at 4.5 feet, and then we go out, and this is a clinometer, and this is on a percent scale. So I'll go out 100 feet to measure the height of the tree, and the angle will be the height of the tree. And what I do is I shoot the top of the tree, and then I shoot the bottom of the tree, or where Courtney will be standing, and add those two numbers together, and that will give us the total height of the tree. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You ready, Courtney? Yep. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go 4.5 feet up on the tree. That's right here. So then we're going to go around and measure. And it's important to have the tape level. You want to have the tape level. So on this tree, it's 5.5 feet in circumference, which will be 66 inches. 5 feet is 60 inches, and then 6 inches. So it's 5.5 feet, 66 inches in circumference. So that's our girth of the tree. Now we'll do the crown spread. Again, we've already predetermined what the widest point of the crown is, and we'll measure that first.
So I've got to find the edge out here to start the tape, right? I'm at the far edge here.
Okay, we're at 40 feet. Actually, it was 41 feet. Okay, and then now we're at, next widest is 37 feet. So 41 and 37 is 78 feet. We divide that by 2, and we come up with 39 feet. So the average crown spread is 39 feet. So now Courtney's going to, well, I measure out 100 feet to get the height of the tree. Courtney's going to explain what's going on.
Okay, so we got the crown spread and we got the circumference of the trunk. So the last measurement is height, and height's the hardest one to get because you've got to figure out what the highest point is. And the clinometer will measure an angle that'll give you the height of the tree if you can find the highest point of the tree, and it's harder than you think. If it's something like a pine tree, it's usually straight up and down. The highest point of the tree is right over the center of the trunk. But for this tree, the highest point is actually a limb that comes out about 10 feet away from the trunk. So to measure that height, we've got to find the point on the ground directly under the highest point, not the tree. Because for that clinometer to work, we have to know the distance back to the highest point of the tree. That's what makes that angle work. So Mickey looks like he's about at 100 feet right now. He's going to shoot the top of the tree to that highest point that I'm standing under. And since he's at 100 feet, if he gets a reading of 30 degrees, then that's the height. If he was at 50 feet, you'd have to take whatever reading he gives and multiply by 0.5. So you can be at any distance, you just have to be accurate with the distance and be right under the top of the tree. So he took a measurement from his eye level to the top of the tree, a measurement from his eye level to my feet on the ground, and adds those together because that's the total height of the tree. So, what'd you get?
I got 30 feet from my eye to the top of the tree, and then 9 feet from my eye level to Courtney's foot. So the total height of the tree is 39 feet. So now we know the total height, we know the circumference, and we know the crown spread. So we add those together, and again we take a quarter of the crown spread, which is 9.75, or we'll round up to 10. So we have 66 inches in circumference, plus 39 feet in height, plus 10 points. And that gives us an index of 115 points. So when you're measuring trees, that's how you do it for the Big Tree Registry. You can find the measuring rules and the nomination form for Texas on the Texas Forest Service website. You Google search for Texas A&M Forest Service rather, and then click on Big Trees, and it will give you all the information. It will even give you a listing of the largest trees of each species in Texas. I appreciate y'all watching, and have fun measuring trees.